AI certified professionals earn 25 to 50% more than their uncertified peers, but 3 out of 4 of the certifications being sold right now won't move your career at all. I looked at every major paid AI certification available in 2026, compared the costs against the actual salary impact data, and in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly which ones are worth paying for and which ones are a waste of money. The demand for AI skills is real. 73% of organizations are actively prioritizing AI talent, and 3 out of 4 companies say they can't find enough qualified candidates. That demand created a gold rush. Every platform, every boot camp, and every online course provider started selling AI certifications, and the market is now flooded with credentials that look impressive on LinkedIn but mean nothing to the person reviewing your resume. The honest truth is that employers don't care about the certificate itself. They care about what you can do, and the certification is only valuable if it signals something the employer trusts. A certification from Google, AWS, Microsoft, or IBM carries weight because hiring managers know those companies set the standard for AI implementation. A certification from an unknown provider, no matter how good the content is, doesn't send the same signal. And here's the part that surprises people. Cost is not a reliable indicator of value. The $165 Microsoft Azure AI exam carries more employer weight than many bootcamp certificates that cost $500 or more, because it includes a proctored exam from a company that employers already trust. Before spending money on any certification, ask yourself 4 things. Does your target employer recognize the provider? Does the curriculum teach hands-on skills you can demonstrate? Has it been updated for 2026? And does the salary impact justify the price? If any of those answers is no, skip it. The certifications I'm about to cover all pass that test, and I'll explain exactly why each one is worth the investment. First up is Google AI Essentials, Google's beginner-friendly certificate for learning the fundamentals of generative AI. Google AI Essentials costs about $49, takes around 4 hours to complete, and has over 16 million learners enrolled. The Google name alone makes it immediately recognizable to any hiring manager. The curriculum covers how AI tools work, how to write effective prompts, how to use AI responsibly in a professional setting, and how to evaluate AI output for accuracy. It's not technical, and you don't need any coding background or math experience to complete it. What makes this worth the money is the speed-to-signal ratio. In 4 hours and for $49, you have a credential from one of the most recognized technology companies in the world sitting on your resume. For the price of a dinner, you've moved yourself into the category of AI literate in any recruiter's keyword search. The straightforward assessment is that this certification won't land you an AI engineering job. It's not designed to. What it does is put you on the right side of a line that 78% of job postings now draw, the line between AI literate and not AI literate. For managers, executives, and non-technical professionals who need to understand AI well enough to make decisions about it, this is the right starting point. For anyone who wants to go deeper, it's the foundation that the next certifications build on. Google AI Essentials handles the basics, but the next certification is where the salary impact starts to get measurable. If your company runs on AWS, and statistically it probably does since AWS is the most widely adopted cloud platform in the world, the AWS Certified AI Practitioner is the certification that tells your employer you understand how AI works inside the infrastructure they already use. The exam costs $100, takes about 20 to 30 hours of study, and doesn't require any hands-on coding. The 2026 median salary for professionals holding this certification sits between $112,000 and $138,000, with a 7 to 10% salary lift over uncertified peers in similar roles. The curriculum covers AI and machine learning concepts, AWS AI services, and responsible AI practices. It's designed for people who work alongside AI systems, not people who build them from scratch, which makes it the right fit for project managers, business analysts, and IT professionals who need to speak the language of AI in an AWS environment. AWS certified professionals across all their AI certifications report an average 27% salary increase, and AWS has roughly 3 times more job opportunities than any other cloud platform. That combination of high demand and a proven salary lift is why AWS certifications consistently rank near the top of every ROI analysis. One thing worth knowing is that this certification is platform specific. If your employer uses Azure or Google Cloud instead of AWS, the signal weakens because the skills don't transfer directly. The rule is simple: match the certification to your employer's stack, because a $100 certification aligned to your company company's infrastructure is worth more than a $300 certification for a platform nobody in your building uses. The AWS Practitioner handles cloud-adjacent roles, but the next one targets a different audience entirely with a bigger salary impact. The Microsoft Azure AI Engineer Associate, also known as AI 102, is the certification that consistently shows the highest return per dollar for professionals working in enterprise environments. The exam costs $165, takes 3 to 4 months of preparation, and the salary band for professionals who hold it sits between $140,000 to $178,000 with a documented 10 to 15% salary lift. What makes AI 102 different from the AWS Practitioner is that it's an engineer-level exam, not a foundational one. It tests whether you can actually build and deploy AI solutions using Azure Cognitive Services, Azure Machine Learning, and Azure AI integrations. That means it requires more preparation and more technical depth, but the employer signal is significantly stronger because it proves you can implement AI in production, not just understand what it is. If your company uses Microsoft 365, Azure, or Dynamics, this certification speaks their language directly. Microsoft dominates enterprise environments, and hiring managers at Fortune 500 companies recognize AI 102 immediately. I've seen job postings at large enterprises that list AI 102 by name as a preferred qualification, which is something you almost never see with bootcamp certificates or self-paced online courses. The proctored exam format adds credibility that self-paced certificates can't match, because passing a timed, monitored test from Microsoft proves something that a completion badge from an online course doesn't. You can't talk your way through a proctored exam, and employers know that. AI 102 is the strongest enterprise certification available right now, but not every paid certification delivers this kind of value, and the next section is about the ones that don't. Stanford's AI graduate certificate costs approximately $20,470 to $26,775. The content is excellent, and the Stanford name carries weight, but for the vast majority of professionals, the math doesn't work. That's enough money to fund 3 cheaper certifications plus 6 months of building a real portfolio of AI projects, and the portfolio will do more for your career than the Stanford name in most hiring conversations. The only professionals where Stanford's price makes sense are those targeting senior research or leadership roles at top-tier tech companies where the academic brand actively opens doors. For everyone else, the return doesn't justify the investment. Generic prompt engineering certifications from unknown providers are the second category to avoid. The content is surface level, and the skill they teach has a shrinking shelf life because the tools keep getting easier to use. If the certification doesn't come from a provider your employer recognizes, it's adding a line to your LinkedIn that nobody is reading. There are prompt engineering certifications priced at $50 to $500 that teach skills you could learn in a weekend by reading the official documentation from Anthropic or OpenAI for free. The certification adds a badge, but the badge carries no weight with hiring managers who have never heard of the company that issued it, and any certification that hasn't been updated since 2024 is already outdated. AI moves faster than any other field in technology right now, and a curriculum that was written before the current generation of models existed is teaching you skills that the market has already moved past. Always check when the curriculum was last refreshed before spending money. The pattern across all 3 is the same: overpriced, unrecognized, or outdated. If the certification hits any of those, skip it regardless of how good the marketing looks. Knowing what to skip clears the noise, and the last certification is the one I'd recommend if you could only pick one. The IBM Generative AI Engineering Professional Certificate is available on Coursera for $49 a month or $399 a year with Coursera Plus, which gives you access to every other course on the platform. At 6 hours a week, it takes about 6 months to complete. At a faster pace, you can finish in 2 to 3 months. The curriculum covers exactly what's in demand right now. It walks you through building and deploying generative AI applications, working with transformers and large language models, applying RAG systems with LangChain, and building AI agents and chatbots using Python. It has over 145,000 learners enrolled, a 4.7 out of 5 rating, and the IBM brand behind it, which means hiring managers treat it seriously. What separates this from the cheaper foundational certifications is that you're actually building things. You're not watching lectures and taking quizzes. You're writing Python, deploying models, and constructing applications that work. The part that makes this certification more valuable than most is the capstone project. You finish the program by building something real, and that project becomes the portfolio piece you show in interviews. A certification that says, "I completed a course," is fine. A certification that says, "I built a working RAG-powered chatbot that retrieves information from 500 200 documents is what actually gets you the interview. The average generative AI engineer salary in the US sits at about $138,000 according to Glassdoor's 2026 data. And this certification is one of the most direct paths to that role for someone who doesn't already have a machine learning background. The rule with any certification is this: one completed program with a demonstrable project beats 5 partially completed ones. Employers value proof that you can build, not proof that you can enroll. And the IBM Generative AI Engineering certification stood out because of the capstone project, since that's what turns a credential into something you can actually show in interviews. I've left the links to every certification from this video in the description below, so you can go straight to the ones that made the cut. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.